Welcome back to Citizen Live at 1. Education stakeholders in Kisii and Nyamira counties have called for a rethink in the teaching methods and learning modules implemented within schools and institutions of higher learning. Speaking at the start of a 3-day conference held at Kisii University that was attended by various stakeholders, including university professors and lecturers, secondary and primary school teachers, as well as representatives from the twin county governments of Kisii and Nyamira, they expressed concern over declining education standards in the region. Extravagant and prolonged burial ceremonies undertaken over the weekend were among cultural practices blamed for the poor performance among schools in the region. Kisii Governor James Ongwae urged the attendants to ensure they come up with practical and implementable solutions at the conclusion of the conference.
Happens to be the lack of consistency, lack of sense of perseverance, as well as the capacity to embrace the principle of unflagging tenacity for overall success. We are not tenacious enough. We don't persevere enough. We just leave things halfway.
Where did the rain start beating us? From where I sit, I will tell you it is corruption. There is nothing else that made us. That is why the government of Kenya has established this commission.
To all these distinguished experts, all of you here, are discussing matters of education. Let us see how we can incorporate the sponsor and build the sponsor as we build the teachers, as we build the parents. You notice I've not used the concept, I've not spoken about teachers, because teachers implement. The duty of government is implemented by teachers. The duty of parents, teachers are there in formal education setting.
I am hoping that in the thematic breakout groups that you come out with clear resolutions which are implementable, which are not theoretical, that you will take cognizance of the responsibilities of national government and recommend what national government should do. And you will also take cognizance of the responsibilities of county government and tell county government what it should do.
Well, we move to the international scene now, and news of the shooting death of an unarmed teenager by police in Missouri has African-American parents in the U.S. asking once again, how can they protect their children? Stephanie Elam reports.
Regardless of wealth, education, or shade of brown, parents of black children across this country are worried.
It makes me think about one of my own.
Trayvon Martin, now Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, another unarmed black teen dead. How to keep black boys safe? I spoke with several parents, all of whom say there are unwritten rules for raising black boys. Make sure they understand they may be judged for the color of their skin rather than the content of their character.
Parents is big.
You show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Pull the pants up.
Do not have more than 3 males and friends in your cars.
Brent and Andrea Pasinger are constantly talking to their sons about staying safe. Isaiah is 15 years old. Sometimes staying safe means knowing how to act around the police. A conflicting notion for Isaiah.
They're supposed to be the people that protect us and keep us safe, but these actions and all these gestures that they do is making it hard for us. It's like, who do we turn to? If the ones protecting us are hurting us, who do we turn to?
Why should I be afraid to walk down the street and get discriminated because of the color I am or the way I'm dressed or the way I look?
It's a lesson that can rob them of their childhood innocence. LaShawn and Robert Spicer also talk with their 15-year-old son, Krishawn, about racial profiling.
We worry all the time. It's going to happen more and more often as he goes on in life, no matter what he does.
Steve Perry is founder of Capital Preparatory Magnet School.
If you have a black son and you're not taking the time to explain to him what he needs to do when he's out in the streets, how he needs to dress and how he needs to act, and explain to him that he actually does have a target on his back, then you are not doing your job as a parent.
Kelly Knox's son is 26, and she still reminds him of her rules for survival.
I've had these conversations with my son since middle school on how to behave. When the police comes, this is what you do. This is how you speak to them. do not get in a power struggle. It's just not worth it.
I think she has a right to worry. She's a little bit too worried, but, I mean, I don't blame her.
Kelly's son Joseph was at first reluctant to speak with me. What made you change your mind?
Well, I figured I would like to give a perspective of a kid who, you know, I don't look like trouble, I don't dress like it. I went to college and graduated, and I still have problems like the next kid. I've gotten harassed by cops. I've gotten a gun put on me. I've been told to crip walk, and I don't even never game a day in my life.
Black males are criminalized from the time we enter into the quote-unquote system. And I'm talking about school. From the time children enter the system, African-American males are the most suspended, most punished of any group, period.
As for the teens, Robert tells his son to keep pursuing his education.
Once you get out there to the real world, it gets harder and harder every day. And the challenges, they don't stop. So for right now, you be 15, let me be the dad, I'll take care of it.
A hope that their sons can just be boys for a little while longer. Stephanie Elam, CNN, Los Angeles.
Well, before we go into business, perhaps important to note that even as we talk about ethnic identity in Kenya and the challenges around that 60 years after the civil rights movement started in America, race is still a key issue driving plenty of division. And that's important just to note. We're all facing challenges. Now on to business. Kenya Reinsurance Corporation has posted a pre-tax profit of 1.7 billion shillings for the first 6 months trading. The result represents a 6% jump in profits compared to 1.6 billion shillings that was realized during the similar period last year. Kenya Re Managing Director Jedediah Mwarania attributes the growth to strong investment returns and reinsurance premium growth. The listed reinsurer, however, says it will have to continue diversifying its product portfolio in order to cater for emerging reinsurance needs.
As well as consider business excludes funds. There are many reasons to change. Markets.
Well, meanwhile, the Safaricom Foundation has unveiled a 3-year strategy that is aimed at maximizing the impact of its activities across the country. The strategy spells out 9 areas that the foundation will focus on for the next 3 years. Among the key pillars identified include the scaling up of the development and use of mobile technologies for development. The foundation will also focus on environmental conservation, health, and the promotion of Kenya's arts and culture. Speaking at the launch of the new strategy, Safaricom Chief Executive Officer Bob Collymore said the foundation would support access to education and economically empowering the youth.
Must meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the next generation to meet their own needs. It's the responsibility of any corporate citizen to ensure that its operations make a positive impact on societies.
Moving on from business, and the Freedom from Fistula campaign was launched earlier this week at Embu Level 5 Hospital, with women from Embu and surrounding regions able to take advantage of the free screening services at the hospital. Speaking after visiting patients at the hospital, the Freedom from Fistula campaign director Lucy Mwangi lamented the stigma that surrounds the condition, which she says is easily treatable, yet women suffer in silence for prolonged periods. Embu Deputy Governor Dorothy Nditi, who was the chief guest during the launch, said the Embu Level 5 Hospital would soon be upgraded to a referral hospital to enable it to handle conditions such as fistula. The Free Fistula Medical Camp is sponsored by Freedom from Fistula Foundation, the Flying Doctors Society of Africa, and the Royal Media Services.
These are complications that occur after complications of birth. The obstructed labor, mainly, although there can be other reasons where you can have maybe a cancer around the cervix causing Asimira Fistula.
Hii huduma inapatikana tu Kenyatta General Hospital. Na wakienda pale kuna laini kubwa sana. Kwa hivyo kama huyo mmoja amengoja miaka karibu 10 ndio apate nafasi ya kupata kuhudumiwa.
It's time now for sports. Welcome, Bernard John.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What do you have for us?
Well, in sports, of course, Julius Ego has done it again. This time in the Africa Senior Athletics Championships in Morocco, including us in the finals to retain his title.
Awesome.
So it seems that since about 5 years ago, since he started taking up the sport using YouTube, things have been looking up for the past 2 years.
Wow, very proud of him, and we're hoping to have him with us on Sunday for Sunday Live. So fingers crossed. Over to you, Bernard.
Of course, we'll have highlights of the Africa Senior Athletics Championships and so much more coming up on Season Live at One Sports. Stay tuned.